Hello students, welcome to Reader's Workshop, coming to you from Key School. You may be wondering, Mrs. Kilmer, if you're at school, why aren't you wearing your mask? Well, it's because I'm in the room all by myself and the door is closed. So, for Reader's Workshop, we're going to enjoy a Dr. Seuss book, but remember, it's not just for fun. I expect you to pay close attention to the details, what happens in the story at the beginning, middle, and end. And at the end, we're going to talk about what's the main idea, right? That is what generally happened in the story and what the lesson or moral of the story is. Okay, here we go. So, this is The Sneetches and Other Stories by Dr. Seuss. And if you notice, this book is looking pretty old. You know why? It's my Dr. Seuss book from when I was little. In fact, it's always fun at this time of year. There's some Sneetches playing with a ball, and if you look up here, look, you can see Mrs. Kilmer's writing from when she was about 4 or 5 years old. Beverly Ann Keller. That was my name, my family name when I was little. So this is actually my book from over 50 years ago. Okay, here we go. The Sneetches and Other Stories, written and illustrated by Dr. Seuss. The Sneetches. Okay, well, I can see we're on a beach. Here we go. Now the star-belly Sneetches had bellies with stars. The plain-belly Sneetches had none upon theirs. Those stars weren't so big. They were really so small. You might think such a thing wouldn't matter at all. Okay, so with a star, without a star. But because they had stars, all the star-belly Sneetches would brag, "We're the best kind of Sneetch on the beaches. With their snoots in the air, they would sniff and they'd snort. We'll have nothing to do with the plain-belly sort." And whenever they met some, when they were out walking, they'd hike right on past them without even talking. When the star-belly children went out to play ball, could a plain belly get in the game? Not at all. You only could play if your bellies had stars, and the plain belly children had none upon theirs. When the star-belly Sneetches had Frankfurter roast, Frankfurter is like an old-fashioned original word for hot dog, Frankfurter roasts, or picnics or parties or marshmallow toasts, they never invited the plain-belly Sneetches. They left them out cold in the dark of the beaches. They kept them away, never let them come near, and that's how they treated them year after year. Wow, that's not very nice. Then one day, it seems, while the plain-belly Sneetches were moping and doping alone on the beaches, just sitting there wishing their bellies had stars, a stranger zipped up in the strangest of cars. "My friends," he announced in a voice clear and keen, "my name is Sylvester McMonkey McBean, and I've heard of your troubles. I've heard you're unhappy, but I can fix that. I'm the fix-it-up chappie. I've come here to help you. I have what you need, and my prices are low, and I work at great speed, and my work is 100% guaranteed." I wonder what he's going to do. Then quickly Sylvester McMonkey McBean put together a very peculiar machine, and he said, "You want stars like a star-belly Sneetch? My friends, you can have 'em for $3 each. Just pay me your money and hop right aboard." So they clambered inside. Then the big machine roared, and it clonked and it bonked and it jerked and it burked and it bopped them about. But the thing really worked. When the plain-belly Sneetches popped out, they had stars. They actually did. They had stars upon theirs. Oh, so here they are, giving their money to go in the machine, clonk, 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 and out they come with stars. Wow. I wonder if that'll solve the problem, if everybody will be happy now. Then they yelled at the ones who had stars at the start. "We're exactly like you. You can't tell us apart. We're all just the same now, you snooty old smarties. And now we can go to your Frankfurter parties." "Good grief," groaned the ones who had stars at the first. "We're still the best Sneetches, and they are the worst. But now, how in the world will we know," they all frowned, "if which kind is what? Or the other way round?" Then up came McBean with a very sly wink, and he said, "Things are not quite as bad as you think. So you don't know who's who. That is perfectly true. But come with me, friends. Do you know what I'll do? I'll make you again the best Sneetches on beaches, and all it will cost you is $10 eaches." Wait a minute. So the first time he used the machine, he was charging $3, and now he's charging $10. Wow. And there's the machine. "Belly stars are no longer in style," said McBean. "What you need is a trip through my star-off machine. This wondrous contraption will take off your stars, so you won't look like Sneetches who have them on theirs." And that handy machine, working very precisely, removed all the stars from their tummies quite nicely, so that they're going in, paying their money, and clunk, 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 coming out without stars. Then with snoots in the air, they paraded about, and they opened their beaks, and they let out a shout. "We know who is who, now there isn't a doubt. The best kind of Sneetches are Sneetches without." Then, of course, those with stars all got frightfully mad. To be wearing a star now was frightfully bad. Then, of course, old Sylvester McMonkey McBean invited them into his star-off machine. Then, of course, from then on, as you probably guess, things really got into a horrible mess. There he is, slyly on the side. Oh my goodness, look. In and out and in and out they all go. All the rest of that day on those wild screaming beaches, the fix-it-up chappie kept fixing up Sneetches. Off again, on again, in again, out again. Through the machines they raced round and about again, changing their stars every minute or two. They kept paying money, they kept running through, until neither the plane nor the starbellies knew whether this one was that one, or that one was this one, or which one was what one, or what one was who. Oh, phew. That was hard to say, because it was as crazy and fast as what's going on here. Exhausting. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Look at him with all the money. Uh-oh. I'm starting to wonder if that's why he came. Not really to help them. Let's see. Then when every last cent of their money was spent, the fix-it-up chappie packed up and he went. And he laughed as he drove in his car up the beach. They never will learn. No, you can't teach a Sneetch. Oh my goodness. But McBean was quite wrong. I'm quite happy to say that the Sneetches got really quite smart on that day. The day they decided that Sneetches are Sneetches, and no kind of Sneetch is the best on the beaches. That day all the Sneetches forgot about stars and whether they had one or not upon theirs. The end. So, wow, I gotta stop and think. So we were supposed to think, what's the main idea? What is the story of the Sneetches mostly about? So this guy, McBean, right? He came to where the Sneetches had stars and the Sneetches didn't have stars, and the ones who didn't want them wanted them. And with his machine, he helped each group get what they thought they wanted, but in the end, they all kept mixing each other up, and in the end, they really couldn't know who had started off with stars and who hadn't, and it didn't really matter. They decided that they could all get along, that not one group was better than the other, right? I think that's what they figured out. So that was the main idea. So what do you think the moral or lesson of the story? What do you think that was trying to teach us? I want you to think about it. And in a minute when we meet, I look forward to hearing what you think the moral of the story is. See you in a minute. Bye.